Everybody, it is 6:35. This is a meeting of the Finance Committee. And it's Monday, April 28th, 2025. And we have Counselor Ocasio, myself, Counselor Devine, Counselor Sullivan, and Counselor Kevin Jordan is on Zoom. And I believe that's it. We have City Clerk Brenna Murphy Leary is on Zoom as well. Okay, so why don't we get started? And the first item is the minutes of the April 14th, 2025 meeting. Move we take it off the table.
So moved.
Does anybody have any questions or concerns about that?
No, all set.
No?
Motion to approve the minutes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I gotta read that thing since Kevin's on Zoom. Okay, this is a motion to take a roll call vote for the purpose of this meeting would be applicable to all motions to remove an item from the table, place items on the table, package items, or suspend the rules unless there is an objection. So I move it, take that off the table.
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. So item number 2, from Devine, ordered that there be and hereby appropriated by transfer in fiscal year 2025, $3,000 as follows. From election of officers to postage, register of voters, $3,000. And we have City Clerk Brenna Leary on Zoom. Brenna, if you want to talk about this transfer?
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Could we
There's
take up
actually 3 transfers that are all
three
pretty
and-
much
Okay.
like the same topic, if you want to take them all together.
Okay, so we'll take up, a motion to take up items 2, 3, and 4. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Brenna.
So this money is just being asked to be transferred because when the city council funded the special election back in January, all of the monies was put into just one account, which was the election officer's account, just to make it easy, instead of trying to determine how much to put in each account. So this is us just now paying our bills and distributing the money that we needed to pay for the ballots. And to the postage one is money for our bulk mail through the Registrar of Voters office. We did a lot of mailing this year, well, actually last year from the presidential election. When people weren't responding or didn't vote in the presidential election, we've made them now inactive, so we sent letters after that, so that's what that money is covering. But the rest is just us paying bills to program the election machines, the poll pads, and the ballot printing. And we'll probably still have a couple like smaller bills like trickle in, but those are the bigger bills right now.
Okay. Any questions, anybody?
No, all set.
Motion to approve.
Counselor Jordan, you have a question?
Nope, just a motion to approve.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Ocasio?
Yes.
Devine, yes. Sullivan?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello,
Okay, thank you,
Chair
Brenna.
Devine and Committee. I'm just letting you know I'm here. Linda Bacon.
Yes, I saw you. Forgive me for not mentioning you.
Thank you all and have a good night.
Okay, you too.
Thanks.
The next item is item 5, motion that we take it off the table, ordered that there be and hereby appropriated by transfer in the year fiscal 2025, $3,800 from school capital outlay, $3,800 to repair and maintenance of public library, $3,800. Somebody here from the library?
Madam Chair, this was a DPW item actually, because it's a buildings transfer.
Oh, okay, because it said public library. So DPW, who's here from the DPW?
I did invite Matt. I thought he would be here. Or he was a question mark on the calendar, so. But I
Motion to
did,
table.
Well,
No.
why don't we table it and we'll go on with the meeting, and if he should sign in, we can come back to that. And if he doesn't sign in, then we will give it, we'll table it.
Yeah, motion to table.
Okay, all those in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next one, order that in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53A, the City Council hereby accepts the provisions of 2024 Mass DEP Recycling Dividends Sustainable Materials Recovery Program of $7,800, no match, and authorizes the establishment of a fund. Motion to take it off the table.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. And we do have, Linda Pratt is here. Linda, if you could tell us who you are. I know who you are, but tell everybody who you are and why you're here. And I thought somebody else was going to be with you.
Yes, good evening, councilors. Linda Pratt, I'm the chair of the Holyoke Recycling Advisory Committee, and I just saw that Ricardo Del Valle, who's the refuse and recycling coordinator at DPW, he
I
just
see
signed
him.
on.
Yeah.
So he will be able to explain this to you.
Okay. Ricardo,
Hi, I apologize. I was just having a little technical difficulty.
that's okay. And this is Ricardo Del Valle. Could you let us know who you are and what your position is at the DPW?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Ricardo Diwali. I'm the Solid Waste and Recycling Coordinator.
And okay. And you want to tell us a little bit about the grant?
So the RDP money that we are receiving is it's what we collected from points that every year we have to fill out a survey and we have requirements for recycling. And for every one that we meet, we end up acquiring points for it. And this grant can only be used for recycling purposes.
Okay. And how is the recycling going?
It's going very well. Lately we have been cracking down more on the city ordinance for refuse, which in turn is going to lead to more recycling, which is also less expensive for the city. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we are paying for trash tonnage $96 a ton. And since the city does dual stream recycling, the recycling only cost us just under $30 a ton. So with more recycling, that's going to help save the city and taxpayers money.
Okay. And are you one of the people that ticket overloaded bins?
I am. But we haven't done any tickets or fines. We've been handing out violations.
Okay. And what was, I hate to ask you what the response was like. I'm glad you did it, by the way.
Well, we've been doing it for a while. I had initially with our frequent offenders, we were sticking the City of Holyoke policy right to the barrel. We saw no effect. We posted it on social media and same, no effect. So we started cracking down on it. Currently today, we had a lot less offenders than the 40 something that we had last week.
Okay, sounds good. Do any city councilors have questions?
I have a quick one.
Who's that, Kevin?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
It's hard to hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about now? Is that better?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. What will the $7,800 be used for? What do you plan on spending the money on?
Well, we'd like to focus a little more on education. We can use them on various things if I need things removed, as long as they're recycling related. There is a guideline on Mass DEP of what we can and cannot use them for.
Okay. Just for future reference, you're relatively new, correct?
I've been with the department for going on 18 years in September. This is new for me as a supervisor. I worked 8 years on the trash truck, highway crew loader operator, and October will be 2 years as a supervisor.
Okay. How long have you been in the recycling position?
In this position, year and a half.
Okay. Just for future reference, it would be helpful though, if you could just kind of give us an idea how the money will be used. It's kind of helpful to have a plan, not, we'll use it someday for something. We would like to, at least I would like, I'll only speak for myself. It would be helpful whenever we have grants to have a plan that's presented to the council when we approve the money, if you can.
Understand, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Counselor Jordan, if I could, through the chair, just make a comment. One of the activities that was recently funded with this money was a data collection survey that was carried out by Holyoke Community College students. They rode with the crews for the entire time it took to pick up recycling throughout the city, which is a 4-week period. And we got data on how much recycling was actually happening, because we really did not know. So now we have some nice baseline data. So when we look at improving recycling in the city, we will have some ideas about where we started. So that is one of the uses of that.
Perfect. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions?
Okay, motion accept the grant?
Second.
Okay, Counselor Ocasio?
Yes.
Counselor Givner?
Yes.
Counselor Devine, yes. Counselor Sullivan?
Yes.
Counselor Jordan?
Yes.
Great. Okay, thank you both for zooming in today, and that grant has been approved.
Thank you, counselors.
Thank you.
And the next item of business is item 7, order that the amount of $945, it's so little, it seems like it should be $9,000, but it's $945, be authorized from the DPW Property Department Repair and Maintenance Senior Center appropriation for fiscal 2025 for services rendered in fiscal year 2024. Is there anybody here from the Senior Center or DPW? Okay, my suggestion then, we would table this and see before we end tonight's meeting if anybody comes in for that.
Second.
All
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Okay, so
Motion to take up item 8.
Item 8, order that there be transferred $847.89 as followed. Sick leave buyback, $847.89, to snow/overtime, $197.89, to personnel equipment, $650, for a total of $847.89. Move we take it off the table for discussions.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Is this for you?
Sure, yeah, that's moving $847.89 out of the sick leave buyback to snow tows, $197.89 to cover a deficit, which will balance that at zero, and to put in $650 into personnel equipment, which covers purchase of equipment for defensive tactics training.
Purchase of equipment for,
Defensive tactics training.
okay.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any questions?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Next item is ordered that there be and hereby appropriated by transfer in the year fiscal 2025, $145,000 as followed. From patrolmen, $125,000, sergeants, $20,000, for a total of $145,000, to capital outlay motor vehicles, $145,000. Okay, Chief,
Sure.
go ahead.
Yeah, Council, we're looking to transfer the $145,000 from the vacancies to motor vehicles to purchase 4 used SUVs from Marquardt Ford. All the vehicles we're going to be planning on purchasing are around 30,000 miles and under warranty to replace our aging vehicle fleet administrative cars. And it'll also cover the cost of lights, sirens, and emergency equipment for the vehicles.
So you'll get 4 used SUVs
Yes,
from Ford, Marquardt Ford.
yes.
Okay. Any questions?
Motion,
Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, it just seems to me earlier in the year, we had put out quite a bit of outlays for new equipment. And some were going under a lease, I believe, and some got purchased outright. Now we need 4 more new ones.
So-
Or not
Used.
new, but
Used.
used, but,
Well, our fleet is 20 years old. Our fleet's aging, our fleet is decrepit, Counselor. These are going to be cars used for detectives in secondary response situations. A lot of those cars are older Crown Vics, which is almost impossible to get parts for. They're falling apart. Some of them have 100,000 miles or more on them. Some of our plainclothes officers are using hand-me-down cars that we've got from the Westfield Police Department. So we're in dire need, and this is an opportunity to buy. They're Ford Edge vehicles that'll, for second, not, they're not the cruisers that go into 911 calls, but they'll buy us some time for our detectives.
okay.
Okay. Anybody?
I had a question, if I may.
Go ahead, Counselor Jordan.
Yeah, Chief, have we had any luck with confiscated vehicles from, drug issues or anything like that? Sometimes in the past, we've gotten some vehicles for detectives to do either surveillance or different things like this. And, they haven't, I don't think if they've necessarily had always, the brand new type car type situation that we've done in the past. And I'm just kind of wondering, is it, our general fleet is in good shape? I mean, at least that's the past reports we've had. Is it just the detective grouping? And how many cars do we have with detectives? Because to say the fleet is decrepit, I'm just wondering, is that consistent with the report we've been hearing in the past about overall for cars? The
Sure.
regular police cars were in good shape, but it's these secondary detective vehicles that's kind of not well. And if you could just talk about confiscated program, please.
Sure, Counselor. The fleet's not great. So we get 3 new cruisers a year, which isn't enough. It's certainly not enough for our needs. In the plainclothes cars, what a lot of them are plainclothes detectives, if you will, they're older cars. They're Crown Vics. They don't put the miles on. They don't run 24 hours a day. They're old. They're very, very old cars. I really give the mechanic Eric and Gino a lot of credit because they cut floorboards out of cars in Weldon. They do a better job with Scotch tape and Band-Aids than anybody I've ever seen in my life, keeping these cars going. But our cruiser fleet, as you know, we run 6 to 8 cars with supervisors 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So they get beat up. They're in alleyways. They hit curbs. They get in accidents. They're equipment that gets banged up. It's not great. Our plainclothes, to be said, is worse because they're not always replaced when needed. And what we've been able to do is take some cruisers with high miles off them, paint them, and use them for secondary police purposes to save money in that regard. And, we're very lucky that we have officers in task forces, or we'd have a major car problem. All of our officers that are assigned to task forces receive cars from those task forces. So we get 3 cars from the FBI, 1 from the DEA, a couple from the state police. So that's been helpful. DAs, that's been certainly helpful. If we didn't have those cars, I'd be coming looking for more. It just is what it is. They're tools that are out there nonstop. And in regards to the seizure things, I can tell you, since I've been here, Counselor, we haven't had any seizure cars turned over. But and I hate to keep referring to my previous experience. In Springfield, we did well with the seizure cars, but it slowed down recently because of COVID now. With COVID for 3 years, there were no trials. And a lot of the cars that we were getting sat for 3 to 5 years without getting turned on. So by the time you get them, they need brakes, they need rotors, they need calipers. The oil was never done. So it's not as good as it used to be. And the way sentencing is now, folks just aren't getting sentenced like they did with the property was getting turned over. And oftentimes, a lot of these cars that the people you would seize, they have big notes on them. And the DA's office has a policy of not seizing cars if there's a balance on it. And I think previous DAs had a different policy. So we're kind of hamstrung with that as well. But I hope there's seizure cars coming down the road. But as of now, no.
Okay, that's great. That's great info, Chief. I really appreciate it. Makes perfect sense what you're saying. you're not losing any vehicles to other city non-police departments, are it? Like, I know sometimes in the past, I don't know if this is the current situation, you'll lose, one to the mayor's office or one to the parks department or one to here and there. You're not losing any vehicles to other city departments. You're hopefully hanging on to the vehicles you need.
We have one at the mayor's office. Other than that, we hold on to the rest of them.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. I also would like to welcome Sergeant Zerhide as well here, and Attorney Bissonette. Any other questions for the chief or sergeant? Oh, I'm sorry, Counselor Cocaine Givner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was just curious, I think it's interesting how you were sharing that there are 6 to 8 cars on the street at a time per shift.
Yes.
Is that correct? How many vehicles do you have overall to rotate through that are in good working order? I'm just curious.
Well, 12, right? 12 to 14.
Okay, so you have 12 to 14 and 6 to 8 are in constant use, so,
Nonstop, yeah.
wow. Okay, so there's not even like a backup set, basically.
Not a full one. So,
Yeah.
God forbid, if you had a horrific incident where you had 3 or 4 cars got smashed up, which could happen, we'd have a major problem on our hands.
Gotcha, thank you.
Especially if they ruin the new ones. The old ones never seem to get scratched up,
Of course not. Of course not.
Okay,
Any other questions?
motion to approve the transfer.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, and I also want to welcome Matthew Peterson. Matt, for now, we just tabled your orders, but we have a few more to go through, and then we'll come back to the DPW orders, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, all righty.
Motion to take up item 10?
Item 10, ordered that there be and hereby appropriated by transfer in fiscal year 2025, $30,000 as follow. Education plan, $30,000. Personnel equipment, $30,000. Move we take it off the table for discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sure, we have an extra 30,000 in our educational plan due to officers leaving that we didn't anticipate. We lost 2 this week, one to the state police and one to the Chicopee Police Department, so that's it's a big loss to us. So with that money, we're looking to buy defensive tactics equipment, taser holsters, radio headsets, shields, medical equipment, 20 bulletproof vests.
Can you go a little slower?
Sure. Defensive tactics equipment, training equipment,
Training, okay.
tasers, radio headsets, ballistic shields.
What are those?
Shield, so if you're getting shot at, or if you got to go through a door to prevent officers
Oh,
or people
okay.
from getting shot. And they're big money, like one for a car is $5,000 that
Wow.
you would use to go into a hallway.
Oh.
Yeah, they're expensive, yeah. Hopefully we never use them. Medical equipment, it's self-explanatory. And then 20 bulletproof vests. And bulletproof vests have gone up in price too.
Like everything else, huh?
Everything, yeah.
Counselor Givner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just, so we just lost 2 people, 2 full-timers to one to Chicopee Police Department and one to the state,
Yep,
to the state troopers.
yep.
Why exactly was that?
I'd say financial if I had to guess, They didn't say it, but like the officer leaving for Chicopee's had a lot of personal issues and it's a good fit for her. But her pay was significantly upgraded, and the state police, they do very well, and it's a different career
Wow.
track for some folks.
Do you know roughly how much more they make in Chicopee?
$300 a week, I think, for a patrol officer.
Wow.
Plus, there's a sign-on bonus for transfers, I believe, too.
Oh, you get paid to poach, huh? they pay to poach.
Counselor, I was at a training this weekend. I don't want to go off topic too much, and it was a really great training at Harvard University. It was all the top police chiefs in the country. It was the best thing I ever went to. And the policing and staffing was what they talked about, and we talked about, as we did last week, the changing workforce. And if a guy might be a Holyoke cop for 2 years, then a Westfield one, the kids are going to bounce to where the money is. There's no loyalty anymore, and that's what it is. I was speaking with a police chief out east, and her community gives $10,000 sign-on bonus for new people coming. And if we don't get creative and start recruiting in private sector manner, we're gonna have a major problem. Because I would say we're at a staffing crisis now, because we're down 10 or 12. We're hoping to get 10. We might get 5. And we could have 8 or 9 go in January. So we're gonna have to get creative. And I mean, there's the audit. We've all studied the audit. It said 15 to 30 more. We certainly can't go lighter than that. And I hate to keep harping on the same thing, but I mean, if I don't get the managerial contractual reforms that the audit's calling for, I'm not going to be successful.
Yeah,
Just can't do it. We'll try. We'll certainly try, but
Thank you.
Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, I'm just curious because it was just maybe 2 years ago. I don't know if it was COVID money or if it was another grant, but we spent quite a bit on shields and bulletproof vests, upgrading them all just fairly recently. And I can see, vests, do people come on in different sizes or something, but the shields, that was on the shopping list then too. Where'd they all go?
so I just found this out myself today. I'm not as up on the tactics. Well, a vest has a life for 5 years.
Yeah,
So you're always constantly recycling them. And the state picks up part of the tab on them, 250% of the tab on them. So like, every 5 years you get a vest. Sometimes guys get a vest when they don't have 5 years left. They do have 2 left and they're gone, but they needed that vest for their last year. We can't put people out in expired vests. And the shields have been upgraded. As bullets and weapons have increased in sophistication, the ballistic properties of the shield have increased, and if we want our people out there with the best protective gear they can have. So if the old one stopped at, a 9mm and this one stops at 45, we want the one that's going to stop to 45. So the equipment's there, it's just dated.
yeah, I get it on the vest. And this isn't any criticism of the job you're doing, but the thing about the ballistics and the upgrade of the weapons was the exact same story we heard the last time we got shields. It's
Yeah.
like, have they just disappeared or what?
No, the shields are there, but the thing is, Counselor, the technology is constantly evolving. So a shield that was built 3 years ago doesn't have the same properties as one that's built today. They've upgraded, and we want our people in the best, most safe gear we can have. But they're not going anywhere. And I don't know how they were inventoried prior to me getting there, but we're going to come up with a tagging system so we have a full accountability for all of our equipment. Because I understand your frustration. If we're buying shields show me the 10 you got last year, and then we'll get 10. I understand that, but I can't speak to what went on before I got there. I mean, it's just, I discover new things every single day.
Yeah.
Is that it? How is recruitment going? Do you do anything special at the college, at Westfield State University?
So we're trying. We're certainly trying. We're giving it a push, but I thought we had 8 or 9 really good candidates, and we lost one to West Springfield because of the pay. He said he was weighing the both out, and West Side was $200 a week ahead. And the rest of them are failing the physical fitness test.
Oh, wow.
Which is, I mean, if you're 23 years old and you can't run a mile, it's dumbfounding to me.
Yeah.
But those who we have, I'm sending, and they go on their own time. We're putting them with the program they do in Springfield to get police recruits through the process, newer people, because, a lot of kids, they just didn't play sports, they didn't climb trees, they didn't run and play manhunt or any of that stuff, and they just don't have the core strength. We're trying, but we're in the same boat as everyone else.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Counselor Jordan?
Yeah, if I could, I think it's appropriate, I think also to make the point, we're struggling against a whole national trend against people going into a lot of these first responder jobs too. It used to be you had to know somebody to get these jobs, and they'd be lined up down the hallway to become a cop in Holyoke, or for that matter, any of these cities. And now, we've made it so difficult in society now to be a police officer. You're under such scrutiny with social media and everybody walking around with smartphones, trying to put the police in such a negative light all the time, that who the hell wants to be a cop? And then you get vilified and destroyed if you make any form of error or even perceived error So this is, I'm just gonna put that out there because that's what's actually really going on. It's much bigger than, you know, somebody getting an extra $50 or $100 a week compared to down the street. This is a national epidemic problem that we're facing. So
Yeah, I agree,
welcome,
Counselor.
welcome to the real national problem of law enforcement.
I agree, but we have to get, and so as as we compete for much fewer candidates, we have to get very, very, very creative in how we do so. Because just giving a civil service test every 2 years isn't going to fill the ranks.
Okay, motion to approve the transfer?
All those in favor?
Second. Aye.
Okay, so that takes care of that one. The next one is item 11. Ordered that there be and hereby appropriate by transfer in the year 2025, $52,000 as follows: $52,000 from captains and $52,000 for repair and maintenance. So take it off the table for discussion. All right,
Sure. The 52,000 from one captain was on a grant, and from the captain money that was saved when you had an intern police chief. We're looking to, repairing the exterior lighting of the building, which is inoperable. I want to put electronic doors for accountability in every door in the police department. Furniture, we got to replace some furniture that's 30 years old and broken. We'd like to get the windows professionally cleaned all the way up and down throughout the building. Some upgrades to our fitness gym, and we need janitorial equipment. As I told you before, the Sheriff's Department has been very kind in cleaning our building for us. And Ray, the guy from the Sheriff's Department, told me it's the filthiest public building he's cleaned, and he did every community center in Springfield and every park department building. It's the dirtiest one he's had. So we're going to train our janitor up. We need some new stuff. We need some floor buffers. We need chemicals. We need things. Quite candidly, the building has been ignored. The lights were out for 10 years. The light in the lobby, someone's coming for refuse in the police department, the light in the lobby was out. That's unacceptable. Yeah. So that's all getting fixed. It's fixed now. We got it done. The lighting in the building, every other light in the building is out. The sheriff's painted the classroom, the roll call room for us the other day. The lights in the fixture are out. They're the original light fixtures that have been there for 27 years, and we expect our officers to learn and read. They have to have lighting to do so. The furniture is inoperable. A lot of those desks are really bad. Some came over from the previous police station. They weren't new with the purchase here. And the gym needs some stuff. We'd like to do some of that. It's all 30 years old. Officer wellness is extremely important, and we seem like we're getting the guys in the right way, exercising a little bit more, so we want to have our facility as good as it can. And like I said earlier about the janitor equipment, I need a buffer that fits the stairs. In interviewing the custodian the other day, he told me he hadn't mopped. He'd been there for the woman's dispatch bathroom was the filthiest restroom I've ever seen in my life.
Pictures, yeah.
I showed you the video. The custodian revealed to me he hadn't mopped the floor in the 15 years he was employed there. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix it. But I need equipment. And then we ran out of janitorial supplies, and we had to go to Highland Hardware to buy bleach at $3 a gallon because there's no central repository for cleaning supplies in the city. So these are all issues that we're trying to solve. Quite candidly, I didn't think building maintenance would be my most important priority as a police chief, but it is. It has been, unfortunately.
And in my opinion is that morale can be very low when you have to go to work in a building that's not clean, and the gym is not working properly, the bathrooms, whatever. That alone is a morale problem.
Yes.
So I appreciate that you're trying to
Counsel,
improve that.
My first ask was from a female officer who said, Chief, our locker room has never been mopped out. And I went and looked at the locker room, and she exercised in the morning at a gym and I've never seen any. I mean, I've been in YMCAs and gyms my whole life, and I've never seen anything like that locker room. And it had to be power washed with a power wash, and it's still not.
Wow.
It's still not there. So we're getting there, but I need some equipment. I need some help, and to get that done. We've painted 90% of the building with free labor from the Sheriff's Department. Come on over and see it. It looks great.
I bet. Any questions? Counselor Sullivan and then Counselor Jordan.
Yeah, a short time ago, also, some of the cameras were inoperative. Is that still the case, or have those all been repaired, or is that part of this?
It'll be part of it. As they go, we're fixing them.
Yeah. So some of them are still
Some are
inoperative?
still down, right? Yeah, very few.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Now, We appreciate it. We really do. And Counselor Jordan, you had your hand up?
Yes, Chief, again, one of the other reasons where all of us are excited about you being here as an external person and bringing a fresh set of eyes is the type of tough love that we need in our departments as its leader. And love to be a fly on the wall when you're having these conversations with the senior leaders of the department, when we hear things about bathrooms not getting mopped for 15 years. What the hell are taxpayers paying for? We're paying for a custodian for that building, and if my floor's not getting mopped, why does this person still have a job? So, please continue to hold people accountable. Light bulbs not getting changed, all of this, not okay. That building, was brand new, 1997. It's a state-of-the-art, beautiful building. We expect it to be treated well. Taxpayers paid a lot of money for that building. And oh, by the way, City Council has never turned down one bucket, one mop, one supply, anything the police department's ever needed. But we can't give you what you don't ask for. So thank you for asking. I will also say that by way of getting supplies, the school department has a huge central supply of various custodial supplies down on Main Street. So maybe, we can coordinate between others who do this type of ordering so your department has what it needs as part of your budget. So just give that some thought. But yeah, we need to be thorough and caring about our jobs. It's very important. And if you see anything or need anything, please, call city councilors, call the mayor's office. This is what employees should be doing if they're not getting responses to these things. And now, by the way, we have a tell it line. See something, say something. So hopefully that'll get up on the website soon from our administrative assistant and personnel administrator and mayor, because we have that service now. So look forward to that being taken care of. Thank you.
Counselor, I can tell you, I met with School Superintendent Soto, and afterwards he told me anything we need for cleaning supplies, call him, he's got it. And with regards to the lighting, the mayor really stepped in and worked with Jim Lavelle to get us in the right direction. The mayor's been super supportive. Without Sheriff Coachy, I don't know how we would have done it. He came the other day with his Bobcat and his team, and they cleaned the whole parking lot. They took the dirt out. I don't think it's been cleaned ever. He repainted the lines in the parking spaces for free for us.
Wow.
It's really got to come by one of these days. We started to paint the exterior doors. Saved a ton of money too. Rather than replace them, just sand the rust down and paint them. And we're getting there. And the feedback from the officers, counselors, has been outstanding. They're really happy to be working in a place where they want to come in and work. The building still needs quite a bit of cleaning, and we'll get there. We'll get there, but it's just going in the right direction. Environment triggers behavior. We want our people to be polite when they deal with people. We want them to be clean in their appearance. We owe them clean toilets and clean showers.
Yep. I agree.
Absolutely. Please have us down, Chief, when you're ready for open house. We'd love to come over.
I will.
Councilor Ocasio?
If you need a helping hand to clean, I'm available.
Thank
I'll
you.
help out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Motion to approve the transfer?
All those in favor? Aye, so moved. Okay, we have one more. Ordered that there be and hereby appropriated by transfer in the year 2025, 20,000 as follows. Quinn incentive, 14,000. In-service training, 6,000, going to supplies, ammunition. Take it off the table for discussion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Sure. Last one, I promise.
It's okay.
Quinn bill, 14,000. We have extra money because officers retired, so they didn't get the full year's benefit. And some extra money left from in-service due to officers retiring. We got to put that to ammo. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts has done a great job changing our training requirements without funding it. So now they added an extra day of shooting, which is going to require a significant amount more ammunition. And then we have hopefully 10 officers, and that's 2,000 rounds per officer. So our ammunition costs went up, and ammunition went up significantly in the last few years too. So the state's really getting very progressive in its training requirements and regressive in its funding obligations with policing.
Motion to approve.
All those in favor? Aye, so moved. Well, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we really do appreciate all you do, and, you know, the building's getting there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I was just over there, I left, the same thing I gave you, I left for Sergeant Bartolome. So, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, you too. And now we're going to go back to item number 5, I believe it is,
Yes.
for the DPW. And Matt is here now. Ordered that there, first of all, make a motion, take item 5 off the table. We did table it. Okay, so it's from school capital outlay 3,800 to public library 3,800. Move we take it off the table for discussion, and Matt is here. So Matt, why don't you tell us why we need the money?
I was actually here about a transfer for the senior center. The one for the library, I know there's a project planned for a rooftop heating and cooling unit being replaced. Hold on a second. Forgive me, I did forget about the meeting, and
It's okay.
I'm not as prepared as I should be.
Do you want us to go on to another one? Because we do have another one for the DPW.
Yeah, item 7.
Matt, why don't we?
Yes, please.
Okay, why don't we hold on to that one and go on to item 7, ordered that the amount of $945 be authorized from the DPW Property Department, R&M Senior Center appropriation in fiscal year 2025 for services rendered in fiscal year 2024, which were unencumbered in 2024 fiscal year end. So I believe that means that, Counselor
So-
Jordan,
Yeah, the
Counselor-
bill must have come in late.
yes,
That's what I'm
Very
thinking.
late.
okay. Do you know,
What
do you
was
remember
this
what the
for,
bill
Matt?
was for?
That bill is from a company that they make the controls for, or make and sell and service the controls for the HVAC at the senior center. It's a building automation system. It's not regular conventional controls, and this took place before I was even hired. But they had to send someone out to troubleshoot and make corrections in the system on site.
Okay, and so this money is needed to pay the bill for that?
That's correct.
Okay, any
Motion to
questions? Okay,
Second.
all those in favor? Aye. Okay, Matt, the other one is the school capital outlay, 3,800 to the public library, repair and maintenance.
Yes, just if you would bear with me for just a moment.
Sure. And while you're looking, I just want to acknowledge, I see a Daniel Duffy online. I don't know if Daniel wants to participate, or
He's one of the interpreters.
he's one of the what?
Interpreter.
He's one of the interpreters.
Okay, and I'm assuming the one with the little yellow heart is as well?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, interpreters.
All right, so I apologize if I'm talking over anybody. I don't think so. Okay, so the $3,800, I was alerted about what this is about. The library is not a building that I'm fully responsible for, but the library's had difficulties with their elevator for some years. Perhaps since that elevator was installed when the addition was put in. And the difficulty is that it is consuming components like crazy, electronic components. And it's theorized that it's consuming these components because the electrical system in the elevator, the electrical wiring, the electronic uh, connections are not grounded like they should be. And that is somehow allowing current to overwhelm particularly electronic components. And this money would be used to pay for Ramos Electric to investigate and remedy that problem, to do the troubleshooting and the diagnosis to figure out how it should be grounded, what's wrong, and make the corrections.
And what was the name of the company again?
Ramos Electric.
Ramos Electric, okay,
I think it's Andy Ramos is the name.
okay.
But-
Any questions?
Right.
Counselor Sullivan?
Yeah, and I thought to work on elevators, last I knew there was only about 2 or 3 locally around. There was, I don't want to mention their names, but I didn't think any just licensed electrician could work on elevators. I thought it had to be certain ones that are certified by the state.
So to work on the elevator itself, that's correct. There's specialty elevator maintenance and repair companies, but they need an electrician to do some of the wiring connections for them. So the company that the city uses is Elevator Maintenance and Repair from Worcester. And it was that company who first contacted me. And the very first time I was involved in anything for the library was the library was getting frustrated that the telephone in the car wasn't getting replaced in a timely manner. And they asked Director Rossi to ask me to call elevator maintenance to find out what the holdup was. And the holdup was actually just that the part wasn't coming in. And as soon as it came in, they got it installed. But when I was in communication with them that first time, it was Paul at Elevator Maintenance who said to me, Matt, I think this phone got fried because the electricity going to that elevator is not grounded the way it should be. And you should really have a good electrician figure out how to get it properly grounded, or I fear you're going to keep frying components. So regular license holding electricians work in conjunction with the specialty elevator mechanics.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay,
Motion to approve the transfer?
so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is there anything else on the agenda? I don't see anything.
Are we tabling
Counselor
that?
Jordan and Counselor Bacon, you all set?
All set. I guess we can adjourn then.
Okay, I would do that. Motion to
Yes,
adjourn?
thank you.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Yeah, have a good night.
You
Good
too.
night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.